All right, welcome back. It is June 12th in the market today. It was such a crazy day. From pre-market, we were up 800 from yesterday. Let's get a little SPY. We had a big gap down. First candle here. This was indecision candle and came straight down, 1,800 plus points. Now you can look at it two ways. We had a good run up, a small drawdown here. There's choppy here, then a small drawdown, and in May. And then from May, we really took off. A few little blip candles here, red candles. This was a sell-off, I think, taking profits from where we were. Look at the run. Different factors in that I think mainly it's profit taking where we were. Some bad news there. The Fed had some news, coronavirus cases spiking. But for the most part, look how we ran. This is stochastics. Look at this. Look how high it is. When you're oversold, it can stay oversold for a while. That's what it did. See right here? But eventually it needs to drop. It needs to cool off. So right now we have a red candle. This is could be a hammer candle, bullish or bearish, depending. Now we're still going down here. See this? White has to be over red for it to be bullish on stochastics. Momentum indicator, we're going straight down here. Now is it going to start to spike Monday this way and turn back up? Or maybe even do that and then fade back down to a full cycle back to under 20 on stochastics. Usually 2080 or 3070. I think on stochastics it is, yeah, they do 2080s, very oversold to overbought. So, and right now this was a wedge, it was a rising wedge and it's tightening here. Now, do we have a new line here? See this? You can draw this down here. It's really only 2 points then. You had a 1, 2. So I don't like it right now. So I'm keeping it. It's really here if you look at it this way. Because look how tight this wedge is. And that's why it dropped. On that rising wedge, they fall. So we need a new trend line. It's very much indecision on this trend line. Because you only have, if you go here, you only have 2 touches. If you bring it closer, it becomes sort of a messy chart. So right now, it looks like it'd be this way because that's the drop, and then that was the next highest point right here. And then we have a fall here. So I have to get over this. Now we have a gap above, which is bullish. On the 4 hour, the 4 hour is very oversold here. Buying here is always a good point. Buying here is never a good point. Buy low, sell high. This depends on the time frame. So we're up here at 320. These candles are all red. They're trying to push out that bottom. See here, they're pushing down. But right here, you have a crossover on 1320 EMA, which isn't good. We haven't had that really the whole way. It's just right up. That's in the 4 hour. There could be more downside ahead here. And then we get here the 2 hour. See this? 20 crossed over 13. Now we're bearish. Even if you draw a line here, we're going down. 1 hour, completely 20 EMAs over 13. So we're trying to come up a little bit here. 30-minute. We had the gap down, then big move up. Came back down hard and then back up. So we really haven't broke this line, but then if you draw a line here, it's trying to come up now. So on the weekly, see the weekly we had pretty much green candles, a little hammer or bearish candle. This was more of a hammer candle. And right here, see this? We had 20 over 13 May, so it's been bearish. You want that 13 to get over, and look how tight it is now. It's extremely tight. So are we going to cross up? Or are we going to go down here? That is the question. I think we could come down further here to 295, maybe what is this, 293 or the 61.8 retracement level. I want to say I think we will bounce from this. Now, it looks like we're in a downtrend now. This is the all-time high. March came back up, and look, a lower high. Here it is, here. We bounce here, and then come up this trend line and bounce again and fail. And we're sort of in this downtrend until we break through. So a lot of indecision right now. On the monthly, It's formed like a high doji, which I don't like. Usually that's a topping pattern. We'll see. It did cross over in stochastics. It might bounce around here for a while. So we'll see on the SPY NASDAQ. NASDAQ, same thing. This actually went above and it dropped pretty hard to 95.48. It's in a downtrend now. See it right here on stochastics. Weekly. Weekly, we double topped here. That's what I thought. I thought we would double top right here at about 98. And it looks like we're trying to cross back over that. It's a strong run. It's been on monthly. That's a definite high wick doji shooting star. 4 hour, we're putting in higher lows here. It's getting very oversold though. We might get a bounce. We had a bounce today, but we can get further bounce. On the 2 hour, crossed over. Now we could form a divergence here. We might form from here, see, and bounce off a line here and then go up. This isn't going to be a straight line up on the hour. It's bouncing all over the place, still oversold. 30 minutes trying to go up. So a lot of indecision here. We'll see what the news over the weekend is. And this has been, let's see, the 13's been over the 20 the whole ride up. There's been no sells long here. It's sort of made a little bend here, sort of sideways. So we'll see what happens here. We might get sideways for a little bit. Dow Jones. Straight down stochastics. This is another one. Had that move from May, all the stocks. Caught in between here. Monthly. That's a definite high shooting star wick. Isn't a good wick. Weekly. Extremely bearish candle. The daily. Here's the daily again. Here's the 4 hour. See right here, the 4 hour, you almost have a crossover happening. This is very oversold now in the 4 hour. So, I mean, depending on your time frame, you can probably play this 4 hour. You're going to get some sort of bounce. 2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Weird chart here. See, down, gapped up, back down, sort of double bottomed here. Trying to make our way up now. You still have a gap above. So we'll see how these play out. What's the deal? GJT, Dow Jones Transport. This is a clearer line here. You have 1, 2, almost 3, 4 touches now. 1, 2. The high on the lowest point here. See this? And then this is further room to run, it looks like. Unless we do a fast curl next week and starts to turn up. And this will fill this gap. It might go lower first before we come back up. We will see what the weekend brings. All right, let's take a look at the top runners today. See the market change. Once the market changed, you know, we had all the cruise lines, airlines, REITs, oil. We're going on fire from that little, from the move from May. Basically from here to here, everything was starting to, you know, go up. So you look at the points here in the market. Here was a good move. Then it dropped, and another good move. That's about 5 days, maybe a week. And this was more choppy, little move here, then really washed in May, and then we did move straight up. So on this is forming a wider wedge. So we're getting bigger and bigger moves up from down. So we will see. So the market definitely changed. Now we have the last few days, some penny stocks are in play, bearish ETFs like SDAL, SPXU, SQQQ, TZA, FAZ, SOXX. What else we have? UVXY, the volatility index, TVIX. And we had some penny plays. Today we moved to China. A lot of China plays were on fire today. CHNR. And what do we see here? We see this candle a lot. These are gap and goes, which means they gap up and they start to take off and then fade back. 47 million today. There's a 5 minute. This is a classic double top. 1, 2, fade. And here is on your 5 minute. Start to come up to this head. 9 million float. Trade ideas. It's not bad. Anything under 20 million is pretty low float. I mean, you start getting lower, like under 10 is really low, down to 5 million extremely. and then under like 1 million is like a super low float. So we had this move here, and then this is your new high. Even here, this was your new high too. Your new high here at 268, and fade it back. And then a nice move here over 250. Look at that, took off to 550 and came back. And look where support was again. This is the 5 minute, so you had support right here at the 20 EMA, and then took off again. See this, but it couldn't break this high for like an all-day runner. These China plays, they really never hold. Probably out of all the low floats that make runs, the China plays, they don't hold. They're pretty much junk stocks. They're pumped. It's definitely crap. You know what I mean? And this faded all the way down, so it was a great short. So what you had here too, I don't even use VWAP anymore. I think it's more of a distraction. 13 EMA and 20 EMA, and maybe if you use 9 EMA. Because if you have a 13 over 20, it's never a sell. It can't be a sell until it crosses. Now, you're saying it comes back right here. You're like, oh, shoot, it's coming back. It's fading hard. But it can't come that hard unless it really bends. See here, you're still way above. And then look at the difference here. On the second turn, look how it faded. That was a sell. When you start seeing this really spiral and you get the 20 crossing over, and you can see this before this happens. Right here, you can see it starting to fade right here, but you can see after the double top. See, this is your first move. And then it's the second move. And the second move, you know, came down a double top. That's what a double top is called. Now, on this move up and it came back, this was so wide. And then you did find support at, was it like 325, about 325, then came back up 550. Now, different time frames go out to 10 minute. See, the higher time frame too, you're going to miss more moves. It's going to slow down these candles. So 10-minute candles, this is all inside a 10-minute candle here. These are 10-minute candles. So this is even better if you want to play it slower. Look at this, 150 all the way up. And look how far away it is from 13 and 20 EMA. It came back up again. And see if you see how it crossed over late. So it's sort of lagging here because these are fast moves. So if you got out here, I mean, you're a little late. You want to get out a little bit sooner. But you can see this. This is where you take both into account. So when you see this happen, and this come down, and this come back up, you know it's a double top. And then you see this big red candle, then you're fading, and you can get out. Now if you get a 3 minute, I don't like to use anything below 3 minutes. It's just way too choppy and way too, it's going to throw you off bad signals. So right here, look at this, 13 MA. Look how this is way above the 20. This was a buy the whole way pre-market. And the best thing to do too, you have so many stocks on like a gainers list here. Like look at this, the gainers list. Pre-market in the morning. Unless you do something the night before, you're watching the market, you trade the market that way too. Like your ETFs, long and short. You only need really the top 5, I would say. Now you can go anything down the list if you want to play different things. But the biggest moves are probably the top 5. So you're going to have the most volume most of the time. And that's going to be where all the traders at, liquidity. So right here is 250 on the 3 minutes. See these candles? These are big candles. Then you have your first pushback. See, this was a first move. See, it has to have a pattern. That's a pattern. There's a little like flag, a bull flag. Is that a bull flag? I'm getting crazy here. Bull flag. More of a triangle. Triangle here, and then see it broke over the triangle, then up, back down, and then found support, then back up again, and then it faded again. But that's a 3 minute. 3 minutes a little tougher. 3, 5, and 10 I like to trade with. They're the best things to trade with. And then I'm looking at, when I'm holding a trade, 10, 15 most of the time, sometimes 30 on these short-term trades. So basically CHNR, you see this is a pump. See these spikes? They're pumps. You can buy it long or short, depends what you're trading it. NETA, this came on late. This is the 5 minute. This came on nice over 320, then over 49. Look at this. It's still going after hours. 7:35 right now. So keep that on watch next week. This is up here. See, this is out of this triangle again. What did I say about triangles, falling wedges? Even though these are junk stocks, see, they spike up. This one can make a huge spike. This has been in the zone forever, this downward triangle zone, and it's going to spike up. The falling wedge, I've said this 100 times now. So CTIB, and this is easy to read too. Sometimes it's just, you just look at the chart. Don't make it too complicated. What do you see here? The first line here is really 7. Or you want to make it a little lower, make 690, say it. And you have 13 coming up and 20, and then it's took off. So you hit a break over 7. That's how you trade it. Break 7, or you want to get in here and your stop 6 because today's open. Even lower right here, but and that was move pre-market, and this faded. Once you see this, and the move came from down here, so you had move of 4, and then up here. Now, once this made a high pre-market, I see how it faded down here. People might have been in pre-market looking for the break of 10. But on this was more of a flat top ascending. See how this already broke out and it came down? You want it to start to move above. You're waiting for the break here. It didn't happen. That was at 10. So you can sort of see this not happening here at 10. You can see it here. I mean, if you put out a trade at 10, and you're pretty much in a zone 9 to 10, and then it's faded down. And this had, what was the volume on this? 28.2 million. This is another China stock. It's very tough to trust. But this is a trickier trade here. See, if you come here, there's different ways to play angles, triangles. This had to break over 10 to be long. If you're waiting in here and you got pushed down, so that's the tougher thing. Even if you had it here at 9, wait for the 10 break, it's very small. That's why these are tougher trades. These are China plays. EMAN, this is another one, punched up, pre-market. Couldn't hold, his double top, almost triple top at 150. And fade it. XRF. This was 8.6 million. This had a lot of good spikes. It's trying to turn up here, so might be further action next week. UVK, this is junk. I don't like this stock at all. IMRN. This was a former runner. Remember, made this move, came back. See how they almost touched the 13 EMA and then it's bounced up as a shooting star. And it came back down here, and this was a fader. Let's have a move here over 9. And then this was the first move. Then we had a stop here. First pattern formed, then came back down. And there's your support at 10, 13 EMA again. We've crossed over. There's no sell. And most of the time, see these moves from 9:30 to 10:30, maybe 11. This is the first big move, and that's how you take your profit. Then is a fade. On most of these small caps, you'll get the run up in the morning and fade late, or not real late, like after 11. If the market's strong, sometimes they'll hold throughout the day. But the market seems to change a little bit right now. What is this? HGSH, China real estate. See all China plays are going out. Look at this. This is up to 120 after hours. This is way up here right now. Hertz, this is junk. Don't trade it bankrupt. There's so many to trade, who cares? XSPA. And this found support, look at this right here. See over 3 in the daily, came up, found support back here, did a reverse split, 1320 EMA, then bounced about 560. They'll all bounce. See, once these bounce up, a lot of them will come back down, then bounce up and fade down. Eventually they fade down. So. COCP. This wasn't bad over 120, 125. This is still rolling up. These are harder to trade, some of these though. Right here was a good move, then it gets choppy. Once it gets choppy, it's very tough to read. 4, this had the move when the market was going insane and it's coming back. Now it's sort of like we're in between here. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go back up or fade back down more. Kirk. KAKK. 75, moved to 125, 113. Wasn't a lot of volume on this. The volume was in bunches out on the intraday. PRTY. This made the move up from 75. This was the run. See it? Hit trend line, and that's why you have trend line. See trend line? Hit, came back down. Bounce up toward at 150, the 13 EMA, then bounce up 175. This is the thing this week. Are we going to bounce again up or bounce lower here? We'll see how the market moves this. JFIN, total garbage. Look at this. This is like an end play. It's called up. And then doesn't go all the way down. Then up again and forms an M, then goes down. That's a new name for the end play. Cap. Nothing going here. KBSF. This is a former spike. Look at all these spikes. Spike, spike. 9.9 million to a very good spike. And this is another end. This is the same as the last play. It's the same as, no, not CHAP. What was the other one? CHNR. Look at that. They look exactly alike. This is the same play. Up, came back down, up, double topped, then faded. Once you see these high wicks, that's a warning sign to get out. That is a topping pattern. And then up again, then faded. So it's definitely a junk stock. What else we have here? Look at the daily. CLPS. TGI, like that, V-Ray, OAS. See, this is the oil. Oil came out of this long-term trend line and then spiked up. Look at this, 1, 2 candles, and then came back. And we're sort of in between now. Tried to come up again. Didn't really hold its gains. And we're still in the downtrend. It looks like it's trying to turn. It might do this. Stochastics come up. Or it might do one more up, then back down and re-fade under 10. PRSP. Over 25. This had a nice move, but it's very high. It was holding like a channel here. Archon has a gap to fill. Not a lot of volume. Azul Airlines. This is the move here. See, from the 18th over, start to cross over 13 over 20 EMA. And look at this, right up. And there is a sell right there. That is a high wick, shooting star, whatever you want to call it, topping star. And then we're going to move down, another move, then it bounced again today. So now we're in a choppy area. This is the market too. So the market was up, and a few moves up and down. Then we're on a big run that we're coming back down. Now we're at 1311 here. And are we going to test this again or fade back? That is the question. This is another one. See, we were at a high on stochastics, then coming back down. We're going to come back up here like this, sort of this, and then bounce up, or maybe there's news next week, it's real good, and this comes back up, and the rally's back on. So we'll see. On this, on the weekly, let's touch the 20 EMA. Now we're bouncing in between 20 and 13 EMA. So if this can stay above 1273, it's starting to come up here. See it on the stochastics? This was dead and flat. That is a good sign. So maybe it's just more of the weekly. Now we're starting to come out. It's going to find a new base here, it looks like. All right, what else do we have here? Let's take a look at the bearish ETFs. That's down 30 million. And this one, they double top. This one up right here and right here. This was a nice trade though today, right up here. So this was a good long. And see this, these are all bearish ETFs. This was up, came back down, another move here, then back down. It really can't get over to 20 MA. This is the biggest move since back here in May. We'll see if this continues. SQQQ, that's another one. This is starting trying to move up. We said a nice move over 850. Then found support, then up again. That was nice. PZA. See in the move here, I can't get above. Right here, I can't get above. Here, I'm 40. See that 20 EMA is still above. It's reversed on the 30 EMA, which means that's why it's gone down. It's bearish. It has to break above. Now, this is the highest it's been since March. Will this continue up further? Maybe another day next week? I think there's a little more to the downside, but we'll see. Here's FAS. This financial bears. This is another one. Weird chart. Went all the way up and down. It almost looks like a double top here. Stocks. This is another streaming line. Look at this line down. It's trying to break out now. So next week will be interesting if we can break out further. The VIX. The VIX formed a higher, excuse me, wick today, 44.16, but it came back strong. So the bulls were in control later on the 4 hour. It's crossing over on stochastics, going down right here. So maybe that's the move. Maybe this fades now. Maybe this fades back to here or bounces again. After the 1,800 point loss, that was a crazy one day. Is there going to be more volatility ahead? I think so. Let's see the 2 hour, 1 hour. 1 hour, this came all the way up, and now it's bounced off the 20 minute. This goes below. It looks like it's already starting to fade. 30 minute, it's really fading here. 15 is getting oversold. On the weekly is interesting here. Look at this. This had to move all the way up in March, and then look at it fade now. And now it's way oversold on the VIX. Which the VIX is going to be oversold a lot. But is there a higher move here on the monthly? Looks like China maybe recross, but is there another move in the VIX? Well, this is the highest it's been. It was higher than May since the March drop. So it could be more volatility ahead. UVXY. This had to move here, then the wick and it came back down. This is above this line now, so we'll see on this one, the 4 hour. It's starting to fade back here. This is a nice trade on, this is a double top though. So we had the breakout, came down and up and double top and faded. So maybe this will fade further. Maybe this was just a few day event. And this was a nice trade today if you call it UVXY. If you don't want to trade TVX because this is cheaper, and this had to move down right here. And once over 39, almost 40, and it took off. This was a nice long. At 40, you can get like $10 a share in this. These move like rockets. TVX. So I mean, these are 169 when I'm playing cheaper. So then move right here. This was over 170. Look at that candle. These take out big chunks. These are like $10, $20 moves. Double top and fade it. So this is the highest volume too. Look at 40 million. I didn't realize this volatility. This is higher than it was in March. Highest one was actually before March was 32 million. So the volatility just increased hugely, and they're playing it here. So is there more volatility ahead? I believe so. I believe there will be more volatility. But I think there's going to be bounces too. I think the Dow's move up like today. We're back in this like 500 to 1,000 range up and down. So we will see. Let's see. TNA. This is what I have formed now. This is a broadening wedge. You have connection of lines. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And this is the thing here. Is this going to drop to here? I have a line. If this comes down 20, probably be a buy here. Maybe even 22. Because this is the line. Every time this is bounced now, 3 times. And look at it right here. It's at 26. It's getting very oversold. It's almost straight down on stochastics. Here was more of a loop. And here was, you know, a little wave here. This is straight down. And look at the volume. This is the highest it's been the last 3 days. So there should definitely be a buy here to come down. If this comes down to 20, this is a great buy. This was just at 34. So this is looking better long-term. Then Dine Brands Global. This is trend line 2. This is almost getting very oversold, extremely oversold. I'd watch for a trend line support of 40. What else do you have? DFEN. This was at 21, came back to 14. This one has a little more room though. It's still 35. This could go down. 13 sort of held. This goes further. The line here, this could go to 9 maybe, even slightly above 9. Nail is a broadening wedge too. See this up, down, connection points, very oversold now. I would look for 18 at the lowest. I don't think we're getting 18, 19, 20. Time to start to dig in here, maybe 20. I'm looking for that on nail. What else do I have here? TQQQ. This is coming out of this tightening wedge, coming down here, maybe more into the downside. UDOW. This could come down to maybe 55. Here's FAS. This has more room to the downside. This could come to maybe 26 if we get that low. And this is unless we get a bounce maybe Monday and it starts to turn back up. This goes even lower, the full cycle. This is what I'm thinking, under 20, like here. When we reach this trend line, it'll probably bounce from there. What else was there here? Excuse me. Soxel. Soxel's at 164. Look for a trend line, maybe 150. This holds. So we have a lot of indecision going into next week. Do we have more room to the downside? According to this is straight down. This isn't even, see, like, this is more of looping. This was straight down and then it crossed. We'll see if we get a cross next week. 4 hours very oversold. We gave the bounce any day here. Like today we had a strong bounce. And it looks like we're trying to hold here. It looks like 300. So we'll see on 2 hour, 300, on the 1 hour, 300. So it's trying to turn up here. Here was the down move, then we had the gap up, then it faded down, and we try to move up again. From 30, trying to break this line right here, 304. So 300 on the SPY. If we go lower, I'm looking towards 61.8 at 293. We'll see if that level goes down below 300. See if we had more. It looks like more room now on a daily. So we might get a move bearish Monday or something like that. Then we finally bounce this way. So we will see if that happens here. Let's take a look at some cruise lines. NCLH. See, this had the finally out of this ascending triangle, broke up, came down 3 days, then found support and trying to go up here. Now is it going to come up and retest this? Eventually it will. On the weekly is very bullish here. Look at that. That is clearly white over red, which is bullish. Probably a lot of profit taking. 4 hour coming back down. So right now it looks like I found a new base right here. That's what I thought. Right at the previous breakout level, and yet support. So that is the cruises, JetBlue Airlines. That's another one came up. Looks like it found support now. Still in a downtrend now. We'll see. This might come back up again and come down and finally squeeze up. What else do we have here? Oil. OKE. This broke the trend line. This didn't fill the gap yet at 61. This is fading hard. This is getting very oversold here. Look at this. 23 on the 4 hour. Very oversold. This was as high as like 48. It's down to 34. Very flat here. I think we can break here. That might be new support. And the REITs, what are some of the REITs? IVR. See, they made the big move. Now they're finding support. What did I say? 1320 EMA support. 4 hour. Looks like a new base we have here. See, it's coming above. It held well. Very oversold the 4 hour. See this? Might be another day down Monday next week. They're all forming the same patterns on these stocks. The cruise, the airlines, the REITs, and the oils. They're all forming this pattern up. Then you're getting support at the 1328. It's a new base. I don't think it's going back down to test the previous breakout level in some of them. It depends with the chart. This is more of a triangle, so we'll see. All right, so that is it for Friday. Have a good weekend. Please subscribe to the channel. I think we still have more room to the downside. Maybe one more day next week. We'll see. Just looking at this SPY right here. Let's look at the before I go. This is all my moving averages. This is on the daily. See the daily, we just crossed over MACD histogram negative the last 2 days. Hasn't done that really since May. And this is very bearish, this stochastic straight down. And on the Wilders RSI, this is trying to cross over. So the thing is, are we going to go here and go below and get oversold? This is where it'll bounce again at under 20 level. Or are we going to do this and like stop and then come back up? Is it going to do a full range down? And here, like I said, you had 292, you have 50-day crossing. It's trying to cross above the 100-day. That's extremely bullish. So all these are lining up. I still think more into the downside before we bounce. So that's it. Please subscribe and like, and we are out for now. Peace.